Hey, look at that. So I'm going to start 2 minutes early to give it extra time to connect. Boom, goes in immediately. Just figures. We'd wait until 7:30. We'd probably be here till like 8 trying to get on. But anyway, we're going to give it a few minutes. I'm going to kick Facebook off here in just a little bit. But Pete's here, Ryan and Amy's on, Kevin and Al ready to go. We'll give everybody a few minutes before we get going here. There's Neil, since we did start early. So we'll see. It's amazing. Hey, Connie's with us tonight. It's just weird that if we wait till 7:30, we fight it the whole night. I go 2 minutes early, boom, in immediately. So anyway, it's working. I guess that's something. Ken from Michigan, Bill Discs here. Let's go ahead and get Facebook up and going as well so everybody gets on the same page. John from Texas is here. And there we go. We are live on Facebook as well. Tim made it. Okay. Hey, we're working. Everything's up and going. William from Hutch on with us tonight. Big Job made it. Ron's here with us. Randy with the Nut Farm. Okay, hey, everything's working tonight. We're going to go with it. That's all I can tell you for now. Matt's here. Jeff from Ottawa. Facebook's up. YouTube's up. Everything's working. We'll go with that. Last week, obviously, was a nightmare. I was out of town. We were going to jump off from the hotel for a bit. I had great Wi-Fi. I probably had better Wi-Fi than I've had in a hotel in a long time. But it just would not connect, period. It just would not let me in. Then it kicked me out. And when I tried to go back in, the YouTube still thought I was on. So it wouldn't let me back in because it thought I was already on. I could go to the outside where you guys were at and see the blank screen and I could comment there, but I couldn't physically get back in. No matter what I clicked, it wouldn't let me back in because it thought I was still on. So I basically, I restarted the computer. That's how far I backed out. And then it just sat there and scrolled and scrolled and scrolled and scrolled and scrolled. So, yeah, I fought it. I hit go at 7:30 last week, guys, and it just was not going to cooperate. Just nothing was going to happen. So, which, there again, I was out of town. It wasn't going to be a big, huge, full night, but did at least want to try to get on for a bit and get caught up. But sometimes that happens. It's their system. It's their game. It's all we can do. But anyway, we're going to have a Hudson badge to start off with. Let's catch a little bit of housekeeping before we get into the actual chat tonight. Lots of things to talk about. Lots of things have been going on the last couple of weeks. I got a fun evening planned. Kenny's here with us. Oh, hope everything is going well, Kenny. Hope everything goes good for her. So, as always, autocorrect. Please double check your comment before you hit send. If I can't understand it, I will skip it. I try to catch most of them, but when I can't understand what it's saying, I do have to skip it. I felt bad. We had a super chat a couple weeks ago, but I couldn't make out the comment, so I had to skip it. If you're on the Nobody Show Facebook page, I cannot see those comments. This is a shared video from the Nobody Else's Auto Facebook page. You'll need to be on the Nobody Else's Auto Facebook page or the Nobody Show YouTube channel if you want to comment, participate in the auctions, participate in the chat. If you just want to hang out there and watch, you're perfectly fine. So, Leo's here with us. Gray Kitty didn't go with us. She's actually out in the shop right now. So, you like the Imperial, Randy? Yeah, we'll get to that here in just a little bit. I've seen you've been dragging up some more Studebagger, Ryan. Those are some pretty cool ones. Trolls, we do occasionally get trolls on here. We've taken some steps to eliminate that, but occasionally we do have one sneak in. So you guys are great about making sure they know they are not welcome here. We are unfortunately dealing with ads. That's the nature of the beast. It's their system, so we work around them best we can. And as always, super chats are super awesome. We have our supercharged super chat badge ready to go for any super chats that hit us. Warmed up, ready to rock and roll for the evening. So anyway, so far we're already miles ahead of last week at this point. So we'll take it. JP's here with us. I seen one of them he put on there, Pete, so I know some of it is. Joe's with us on Facebook. But anyway, where do we start? I guess a little bit of industry news. Let's catch a little bit of industry news real quick. Some big announcements with Mopar this week as far as SRT coming back. The Hemi was released once again in the pickup. And I'm sure most of you guys have probably saw it. Now, a few weeks ago, they announced the Hemi was going to be back available in their pickups. And now they've got another problem. Oh, look at that right there. Boom. Supercharged super chat from Kevin L. Thanks, Kevin. Right there, supercharged super chat badge. Dad's here with us. Kevin hit us right out of the gate with a supercharged super chat. Here we go, Kevin. That's right. Let's get it started. So now that they've officially released the Hemi, you can't order them. They have another problem. They have so many orders for them, they don't know how fast they're going to be able to build them. They had 10,000 orders immediately in the first day for V8s back in a Ram pickup. I mean, who would have thought, right? So, fortunately, they got that ship righted, hopefully, and getting things turned around. And obviously, their former CEO did not make a lot of wise decisions for the brand, and the dealers have been suffering. The brand has been suffering. They put Kaniskas in charge of North America, and he was responsible for the Demon, all that type of stuff. So could be a lot of fun, cool, crazy things coming out of Mopar and the Reborn SRT program. If you didn't catch it Friday, we did squeeze in a live from the yard. Went out, wandered around for a little over an hour. Kind of a last-minute deal. We've been needing to do one. And obviously this time of the year, it is so hard to do lives from the yard. You know, we've all seen it. These things overheat, and they overheat very easily. So when you get out in the heat, especially in Kansas in the summer, those things can lock up pretty quick. Sometimes you can only get 3 or 4 or 5 minutes out of them, and boom, they're locked tight. And there's nothing you can do other than sit and let them cool down. 4th of July was overcast and breezy, and I was like, man, this is the perfect time to do one, because usually we're at 8:30 on Sunday morning trying to squeeze something in. So we did jump on. Hey, Jim's with us for a while, and went out, wandered around the yard, and got a live yard walk-in Friday. So you guys, if you missed it, you can go back and check that out, see some of the different things that have been hitting the yard, and there's a lot of stuff there we haven't done content on yet that is going to be coming soon. Tractor Mike made it tonight. Glad to have Tractor Mike back. I talked to him yesterday and finally got all of his wheat in. He hasn't stopped in, I think, 4 weeks, he said. Not one day has he stopped in 4 weeks. Between spraying, planting milo, and cutting wheat, he's not stopped in 4 weeks. So, glad Tractor Mike made it back tonight. Obviously, a well-deserved break. Had he seen he had the Super B out today? He posted that on the Nobody's page. So, glad Tractor Mike is back amongst us after his – and that happens this time of the year. I know this time of the year I can text him, and I may get a response, maybe not, maybe 3 days later, because this window for Tractor Mike is bananas. And I know that. It's like that every year. But fortunately, got it all done. All the wheat's in the elevator, all the milo's in the ground, and he's back with us tonight. So, hey, there's Waycamp. Scott's with us on Facebook. So glad Tractor Mike is back amongst us. So you're Hub Camaro now, I guess. So we need to watch for hubcap Dylan coming up. Is that correct, Matt? Is that what you're going to be running under? But anyway, we haven't been together for a couple weeks, so we need to get caught up on what happened, what we would have talked about last week as well. A couple things we did catch a week ago. There was a small swap meet in Hays, Kansas. Okay, so we need to remember that, guys. I won't remember it. You guys help me remember. Watch for hubcap Dylan. That will be Matt. Okay, Andy. Yep. I'm fine with that, Andy. That's actually pretty good. I like that. But the swap meet in Hays, Kansas, like I said, it was the first year they've done it. It's a new deal, and it wasn't bad. They seemed like they had some growing pains. They need to, they didn't, and they admittedly they didn't push it as hard as they should have. Didn't put the word out there like they should have. But for the first time out of the chute, it went pretty well. They had a decent amount of vendors. Dad and I went up that Friday morning a week ago, and we did okay. We bought some cool stuff, bought some parts. I've got some great stuff that's going to be coming up on some Toy Tuesdays. Got a few things that are actually a couple things already in the auction boxes, and a few more coming up. So lots of. It wasn't bad. Like I said, Hayes is only about 50 miles for us, so not a bad run to zip up there and check it out and see what was going on. But like I said, we'll see if they do it again next year. I feel they had a fairly solid start for just kind of trying to put something together and see what happens. Had indoor and outside vendors. Weston was there, and I saw a few other viewers there as well. So it's good to run into some of you guys and say hi. But like I said, it wasn't bad. I got a couple of cool pieces I think you guys are really going to eat up on Toy Tuesday. So we'll see what you think of that. And then last Saturday, a week ago, there was an auction where actually we already shared the toys with you on Toy Tuesday last week. But I did get some other stuff there as well, too. That was hey, there's Austin. That was a guy I've known for years and big into trucks. Steve's here with us. There's Weston. The day he bought more than he sold. That has a tendency to happen, as we all know, and have pretty much all probably done. But this auction was a guy I'd known for years. Like I said, he was big in the truck world, ATHS, American Truck Historical Society. He was heavily involved in that. He passed away a year or so ago, and they sold his collection. He did have a lot of toys. We got the few that we checked out the other day. Got some other kind of cool stuff at the auction. Do have some small toys I need to sort through. That some of that stuff will end up in some Sunday night auctions. And Dad got a slot machine. Mom and Dad bought a slot machine, which is really cool. I think it said it's pre-1950 Bally's slot machine. That was a really cool looking piece. So it turned out to be a pretty decent auction. We got some cool stuff. So Iola coming up. That is a biggie. I've never been to that one. So anyway, content this week. Did you guys all catch the auction video, the Lincoln auction video? That I should have had that up a month ago or 6 weeks ago. I just had so many different clips I had to sort through from that day. So I hope you guys caught the Lincoln auction from that was in April, actually. We did the preview back then. And finally got all the clips I had from that day put together, got it uploaded. So I hope you guys caught that. I did go get the last car Thursday, finally. So I've got all the Lincolns here that I bought. And so we can start doing some content on those. Yeah, it was a pretty decent auction, Bill. Just kind of a weird deal. There was the family, none of them live here. So they had to schedule time when they could be back to help do it. And it was just kind of a weird deal the way it all came together. So, and then the auction company, they had a member of their staff had passed away, and the funeral was scheduled for that day, the same day as the auction. So it was really kind of a weird deal, but it had a decent sale, had a decent crowd. And I ended up with 5 out of there, so we'll be bringing you those very shortly. 3 Lincolns, the Continental Mark II, and 80 Z28. So that stuff will be coming up, and there's some cool stuff going to be ending up in the auctions for you guys from the auction. That auction. Some stuff you can add to your collection. What are you doing? Hey, what? You gonna come say hi? Come here. Meow. Yes, come here. All right. There, you can say hi to everybody. Hey, there's Tweely D. Look, you going to say hi? Yes, everybody wants to see you because you're a knucklehead. Say hi, Gray Kitty. Yes, you're a knucklehead. There, say hi to everybody. What are you doing? Meow. 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 What? Yes, I see you. You're a pest. Yes, you're a pest. Okay. What? Holy cow, Ryan, 900-mile round trip. That's a long ways. Tweely D. Oh, wow. Holy cow, that's crazy. Congratulations, Tweely D. That's exciting. So, that's awesome. That's some exciting news for you guys. So, I don't know if I've seen an Austin grease cap or not. I know they made little Austins, but I don't know that I've seen a grease cap for one. Can I help you? Hey. Hey, I'm talking to you. Meow. Anyway, you're a pest. So I hope you guys caught all the auction action with the Lincolns, and we got some cool stuff coming up for you guys. So we go to some of them. He goes to a lot more auctions than I do. He goes to one about every weekend. He'll drive all over to go to them. I usually don't have time to go to a lot of those far away ones. So a lot of times when there's stuff in my area, he's usually there as well. So what? You're a pest. So yep, I do run into Tim pretty regularly. Do you mind? Apparently not. Whoa, that's the keyboard. That's the keyboard. Yes, that's a keyboard. You're not supposed to step on that. Yes. Hey, put your claws away. No. All right, I think you need to get down. You need to get down? You want to get down? Hey, Charles is here with us. No, that's my water. You're in the way. Yes, I know. You're in the way. Hey, there's Dean. X-Ray made it tonight. Okay, park it. Park it. And then, of course, Friday night, the 73 Imperial video finally got up. That was fun to do. That is such a cool car. And like I tell you guys, I don't catch a lot of the comments, but when I jump onto YouTube, the last 3 comments do pop up on my main page, and I saw one that really intrigued me. So I looked at it. Somebody made a comment, and this is what they said. It sounds right, but the comment was that 2.1% of 73 Imperials got sunroof. No, you can't go over by the keyboard, dummy. You've done that before. You've wrecked the whole chat. Yes, you wrecked the whole chat. 2.1%, roughly 278 cars received a factory sunroof. So, not a very common option. How about you get down? Yes, that would be a great idea. So, less than 300 cars. They made 13,000 of them or 14,000 of them. Less than 300 of them came with a factory sunroof. So glad you guys liked it. Hey, there's Kevin. What would it take to visit you? Just have to schedule something with me, or like I said, come to the gathering. Just depends on what you need to do or what you want to do. Emma says hi to the kitty. Oh, that doesn't sound like any fun, Matt. You are knucklehead. So that's such a great car. Somebody needs to do something with that car. I'd love to see that thing back on the road. How about an Auburn badge? And I don't think it's going to take a ton, but it is pretty cool. So glad you guys finally got to see it, and glad you guys enjoyed it. Something else that I did buy some other stuff this week. And I actually got something I've never bought before. Never had a chance to buy one before. A guy I know called me, and he got out a bunch of Newell stock that he wanted to sell. And I deal with this guy quite a bit. And they said, I got a couple boxes of Newell stock. One of them is mainly just hard parts, which obviously isn't that exciting. But the other box was a whole table full of mostly Newell stock. There's a few used pieces of GM accessories. Hey, there's Dennis. So I went out to look at that stuff, and he had something there. He had sent me a picture of it a few weeks ago. So I kind of wanted to go out. It was kind of an excuse to go out and look at the parts. I wanted to see this other piece. I've seen them before. They're fairly rare. They are out there, but you just don't see them very often. I've never had a chance to buy one. And so when this one came, he had told me when he called it the parts, he was thinking about selling this. So I was like, well, I got to go look at it. And what it is, I want to see somebody do something with the Imperial, Jeff, for sure. I don't. Yeah, you wouldn't need another building for it. Yeah. Yeah, I don't want to part that car out. I want to see somebody get that thing back on the road. I don't know if you guys saw it when I hooked the booster pack to it. The thing cranks over good. It, I think, a good tune-up and service and new fluids, and I think that thing will be ready to fire up. The brakes are still up on it. I mean, I wouldn't take off down the highway without taking them apart and looking at them, but it does still have brake pedal. The engine turns over good. I don't think that it's going to take a ton of work to get that car back on the road. So I'm just excited. I'm just waiting for somebody to get a deal worked on it and see something happen with it. So it's just so cool. But anyway, the Imperial is a 73 LeBaron with a factory sunroof, Scott. So the video went public Friday night. The members saw it last week. It went public Friday night. And that thing is just so cool. So there goes the hearts. Appreciate that, guys. So anyway, I go out there to look at these Newell stock parts, and he had, and some of you guys have probably seen these. I don't have one. Out of all the gas pumps I've got, I do not have one of these. Like I said, I've never even had an opportunity to buy one. I've seen them. My friend Rick Trotting down in eastern Kansas, he's got several. They are out there, but it's just something I've never had a chance. There you go, Nut Farm. To buy a double gas pump. Have you guys ever seen a double gas pump? Yeah, duct tape drags car. That's a lot of car to be taking down a drag strip, though. So, who's seen a double gas pump before? Hey, there's number one. So, curious if you guys are familiar with double pumps. It's one gas pump, but it is two separate units in one setup. Nut Farm, remember seeing one on an old movie. Yeah, they're pretty cool. I was kind of excited about it. I need to sell some other gas pumps, though, because I've got too many gas pumps, I think. But I couldn't pass up the opportunity to snag this because you just don't ever see them. So. But this is a Gilbarco, two pumps in one. So we need to get this thing picked up so we can take a look at it and check it out. Hudson badge. We need to kick the auctions off here, don't we? We need to get some auction stuff going. Auction stuff, nobody's page, new inventory, ads, badges, caps, brochures. Oh, the brochure tonight, guys. This is crazy, the brochure tonight. Promo model. Story time, raffle time. We got all kinds of cool stuff. So let's get rolling. Anybody wanted to throw an auction in here to get rolling, get started with some of that stuff? We got a lot of stuff to do here. So let's see. You grab this and let's sell something before we get into the nobody's page. Auburn badge. All right, let's just start off with a plate. Plates are always good. This is kind of different. We've never done one of these before. It's a pretty unique plate. It's aluminum, but it's 74 years old. Going back to Illinois in 1951. This is a raw aluminum plate with burgundy numerals on it and letters, I guess. It's roughly a standard size plate. I think it's about 12 by 6. Big Job 5. Yeah, about 12 by 6. Raw aluminum on the back. Illinois from 1951. So, let's get boogieing. Big Job at 5 on the 1951 Illinois plate. X-Ray Dean at 8. We're ticking away. We go 90 seconds on these. I'll tell you when 30 seconds has passed because that is right now. I will tell you when we hit 60 seconds as well. And whoever the high bidder is at 90 seconds, I will declare the winner based on what I see on my screens. Shipping, I think, on everything tonight will be included in the 48 states. If you're non-U.S., you can play along. You just have to find out a way to get me paid in U.S. funds, and you will have non-U.S. shipping. This thing kind of funds itself, so it costs a fortune to ship a box overseas. It kind of torpedoes the whole thing for everybody else. 1 minute gone. 30 seconds left. X-Ray Dean at 8. Hey, there's Alec. And as always, if you just have one or two small pieces, I will wait to ship those too. Kevin at 17. And that does it. Kevin got his 17 in there. That was timed pretty close, Kevin. That was about 124, 125 on my screen. Matt had a 10, but it was at 132. But Kevin had it covered anyway at 17 for Kevin Brown. What the heck? Let's do a Ford cap we got on top here. 63 Ford hubcap. I don't know if we've done any of these before or not. How about this one? Check out the serrated edge in here. Whammy down here on the bottom. Ford letters are all stamped into this cap. You can see on the back how all that's stamped in it. It is a stainless cap. This was actually black in between all these ridges. And then, of course, the Ford letters would have also been black originally. Does have a nice shine to it. Somebody did write a part number on the back, C3, so that would make this 63. It is kind of like looking into a washing machine. It is 9.5 in diameter on the little Ford cap. Matt at 8 starting us off. We got a lot of cool stuff tonight in the auction, guys. So let's go ahead and get this one rolling, and then we'll move forward into tonight's chat as we work our way into some of this other stuff. Matt at 8. We're on the timer. Nut Farm at 10. $30 seconds gone. 60 seconds left to go. Coming up on the 1 minute mark. One minute gone. 30 seconds left to go. Nut Farm at 10 on the Ford cap. Big Job 12. Kevin 18. Pete 16. Kevin 18. We're just about ready to wrap it up. And that did it. Kevin's 18 held. Big Job had a 19 at 132. Kevin's 18 held just barely by a second. But Matt had a 19. They were gunning for you, Kevin. All right. Good start. Let's move on to some other stuff. Something I want to kind of reflect back on here real quick. Hudson badge. Let's check out the No Buddies page. In fact, Kevin just posted pictures of 58 Chevy. Tractor Mike has a Super Bee posted. Matt was at a car show with a Vista Cruiser shot. Matt working on his Ford. Pete's haul from last week. Lots of great stuff on there. And I knew we had it up for a while, but Andy posted. Oh, yeah, that happens, Matt. Andy posted the other day, we're a year in. How crazy is that, guys? 109 members. Excuse me. But we're a year into the No Buddies page. We've talked about doing that in the past, talked about putting something together where you guys can post your projects and what you're working on and what you're finding. Zach and Andy did that on their own. That wasn't anything I asked them to do. They just took it upon themselves that, everybody's asking for this stuff. Hey, there's Frank. And so let's do it. So they did. So huge shout out to both Zach and Andy for the work and the effort they've put into the No Buddies page. It's great seeing you guys enjoying it, posting your stuff on there. Like I said, I don't comment on that stuff. I do look at it a couple times a week just to see what you guys have going on, because that's what it's there for. But like I said, I don't take time, and I really don't comment on anything on Facebook. Very, very, very rarely, if ever, will I comment on anything on Facebook, period. But I do like seeing what you guys got going. And so it's been great. You guys are all encouraging, supporting of each other. And that's what really has made that page a winner. And that's all because of you guys. So crazy to think that we're a year in. The No Buddies have been up for a year. If you're not on this page, get on the page. There are a couple questions that Zach and Andy set up you will have to answer, and they will get you right in. So it's been great. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Boom. Boom. To the Nut Farm. Supercharged super chat from the Nut Farm. Hitting us with a super chat from the Nut Farm. Thanks, Nut Farm. Appreciate it. The super chats are always great. That's why we give you a supercharged super chat badge. Appreciate it, Nut Farm. So, guys, it's been great. The page, the participation, the support, the encouragement. That's what it's all about. And you guys have been great with it. So once again, I want to give 200% credit to both Zach and Zach Whiskey Business and Andy the Rusty Okie for taking it upon themselves to put that together and make that what it is and what it has become. So Appreciate it. If you're not in, get in. If you've got some friends that may want to get in, encourage them to join. It's turning into a great group, and it keeps growing and just ticking along. So it's awesome. So thanks to all of you guys for making that happen and making it what it is. Yep, and that's another good point. Big job, Tyler Campbell, or our friend that from Canada that we lost recently. That's that was a big loss to the show. He was a big supporter, sent us a lot of viewer box stuff, and a lot of stuff that we passed on to you guys as well. So anyway, where else do we want to go? We got all kinds of stuff to do tonight. Let's do a promo model, right? All right, let's do the promo model tonight. Tonight's promo model. Another one out of the Chevy collection. However, I don't think we've done any of these yet as far as an F body. Tonight's promo, and it's weird because you never see these this way. This is how the promos were made because that's how the cars were made. But you never see Camaros without spoilers, without rally wheels. However, this 1972 SS promo, no spoiler, hubcaps, but a lot of cool. This painted in midnight bronze is the color. That's a lot of hearts, Pete. I figured this one would get your attention. And I don't know if you guys can see it, but it's got, lots of heart, all kinds of things happening right now. It's got kind of a bronze tint to it. Midnight bronze is what the color was called. As you can see, they look different without a rear deck spoiler on them. You don't ever see a Camaro without a spoiler on it. You see the 1972 license plate. If you look closely on the front fenders, I don't know if you guys will be able to make it out or not. It does have SS badging on it. The bottom side, there again, one piece of molded plastic with some detail in it. One thing I do notice that they did actually include on this is true full dual exhaust on both sides, straight off the engine all the way back. Condition, just like all these Chevrolet promos out of this collection, excellent. No boxes, but amazing original condition. No chips, damaged brakes, original tires, original hubcaps. On the 1972 Camaro SS factory Chevy promo. Hey, Ken from Illinois. So, glad you guys are digging it. We've still got a ways to go, believe it or not. Let's see, what is this? July? We bought these last September. Of course, we've missed a few weeks here and there. We may be done by September after about a year. We ended up with 49 of them. So with a few weeks missed here and there, it's going to take right out a year to get through them. And don't worry, I found some other promos since then we need to get worked in as well. Inside, I don't know if you can see it. It does show the bucket seats, the console. The hearts are still going on this great-looking 1972 Camaro SS factory Chevy dealer promo. Mike from New Waverly, Texas is here. Glad you guys enjoyed it. New inventory. Did have some stuff come in. This one has some dust inside of it. They sold several cases there. This one, if you look close, it does have a little dust inside of it. They did sell the cases that these were in that day, and most of them were enclosed. Dad bought, I think, one or two of them. But most of them, it did appear as though they were enclosed, but I don't think all of them were. Unfortunately, did not blow up any Toyotas this Fourth. We have done it in the past, but we didn't do it this Fourth. Didn't do much of anything this Fourth, actually, believe it or not. We just went out to Mom and Dad's and grilled burgers. I didn't buy any fireworks again this year, which for me is really weird. Yes, can I help you? Can I help you? What? I used to be a huge fan of fireworks. Every year, bought tons of fireworks. Love fireworks. What? What? But was it last year or the year before? I went to buy fireworks, and you used to go out and spend $200, $300, $400, and you got a lot of stuff. You know, you could choose stuff during the day, had a lot of stuff for the night. But 2 or 3 years ago, when I spent 300 some bucks, I didn't even get anything. I mean, there was barely anything in the truck. So it really just discouraged me. And like I said, I was a fireworks nut. What? You're just a nut. Yes, you're just a nut. So the last couple of years, I just haven't bought anything. It just really discouraged me because the price got so far out of whack that, $200 or $300 was 10 minutes worth of stuff. Whoa, no, you don't. Oh, hold on. What are you doing, knucklehead? You can't go over there. That is a keyboard where you're not allowed. Yes, you've done that before. It doesn't work out very well. No, it does not work out very well when you go over to the keyboard. Meow. Okay. So, yeah, basically, that's what I did, just like you guys are commenting. I just worked all day. So, what? Worked, moved some cars around. Hey, there's Mark. That's true, Dean. It's been a while since you shut the stream down, knucklehead. Then I had to go fight the lawnmower for a couple hours. Then we jumped on the live, and then went out to Mom and Dad's and grilled burgers. And I came back shop and worked that night. So you are a pest. We should name you Pest instead of Gray Kitty. So yep, that's what I did. I worked too. Why? You didn't do anything. Do you mind? No, you don't mind. I know. So anyway, new inventory. Seriously. From the last couple of weeks, actually. Hey, you're in the way. You're in the way. You're in the way. Now you're really in the way. I know. You're right, Big Red. I'm using your desk, ain't I? You're going to get down is what you're going to get to do. So the last couple of weeks, what came in? Tractor Mike says, no Gray Kitties. Yes, no Gray Kitties. A couple of farm trucks. A 1950 Dodge, as well as a 1959 Viking 60. Have not done the videos on the turbo superchargers yet, John. I know you're not going to let me forget, but no, I haven't done them yet. Do you mind? No, you don't mind a bit. So a couple farm trucks came in. It had another Caprice come in, 83, 84, 85-ish Caprice. Just a four-door with no front clip. Not much left, but it was going to the shredder if I didn't grab it. Went and got the other Lincoln. The last Lincoln I had over there was a 56 two-door hardtop Premier, so it is back here on the grounds, as well as an 83 Mustang convertible. So lots of stuff coming up there to share content with you on. Hey, you. So that stuff will be coming up in the very near future. Do you mind? The Viking is a 59, Joe. Seriously? Oh, now you're just going to park it right here in the middle of everything? You can't park it there. Wow. We're going to do a badge. Tonight's badge. Do you mind? Jeez, cat. Scooch. Tonight's badge, hopefully soon, is from the Lincoln collection. I don't remember if it was in the video or not. I bought a big box of Lincoln emblems. I don't remember if I caught that in the video or not. Stuff that he'd taken off these cars over the years. We're going to start with one of those tonight. This is the rear tail emblem. Went on the back of the car off of one of those 56s. This is a pretty cool piece. Cat, do you mind? It's kind of a thicker emblem. You see it's kind of raised up where the letters are highlighted against the background. This is a flat emblem because it went right across the back of the car, stud mount. Originally kind of an anodized gold. This one has lost some of its anodizing, but still looks pretty cool. Since this went across the back of the car, it was on one side, but obviously a Lincoln is a big car. So this thing is 15 inches long. To give you an idea, and about an inch high at the tall points. What? You are turning into a pest. So that's where this would have gone, straight from the Lincoln collection. You need to get down. The rear tail panel emblem off of a 56 Lincoln. I think it's time for you to move. Yep, I think it's time for you to move. Yes, Cruz, I do sell whole cars. I am dual license, salvage, and used vehicle. So I can sell anything from door handles to restored cars. We do a little bit of everything, Cruz. Yes, Cruz, I can do sell complete cars. All right, it's time for you to move. Time for you to move. Let's get out. Yes. There. The first letter looks strange on the Lincoln emblem, Mark. Is that what we're talking about? It's just got kind of the tail on it over here. I'm not sure if that's what you meant, Mark, or maybe that was it. Okay, that's what you were talking about. So, yep, that was the deal. That was the difference. It just had a tail on the back of the L. Hudson badge. So are you mad now? Yes, go sit on that chair over there. You're fine. That chair will work just fine for you. All right, she's over on the other chair, so hopefully she will stay out of the way. All right, where are we going to go next? Brochure, cap, story time, raffle, auction stuff. What are we going to do? We're going to sell some stuff? Maybe we should sell some stuff. What do you guys want to sell next? I got a wide selection in here. Matt says emblems. No promos tonight. I do have several different emblems. Actually, I got some pretty good emblems. You want to do a couple of emblems? No, nut farm. I've got a few more of those wrenches, but I need to get some of them out. I'm getting pretty low on them. I've got a few things left in that area. So how about a Lincoln emblem? We'll start with a Lincoln emblem, fresh out of that box from the auction. The 73 that we just did the video on Friday night I do still have it, Turning Guns. It's still available. Nobody sent me any money yet. So, how about this Lincoln Emblem? Same era. Only this one is not. This is off the side of the car, I think, because it does not have the thicker back to the like the other one did. Good point, Leo. Hudson badge. We do have a horn button, Kevin. Where'd it go? Let me get it out of here so we don't forget it. All right, let's do a Lincoln Emblem straight from the Lincoln auction from the video last Wednesday. 56 era once again. About 14 5/8 on this Lincoln badge. So, who's going to get us rolling on the Lincoln Emblem? Or do we have anybody interested in it? Maybe you guys don't like Lincolns. Ron at 20. This was kind of a gold anodized piece as well. I'm not sure what that one was, Turning Guns. Coming up on the 30-second mark, Ron at 20. 30 seconds gone. 60 seconds left to go. Coming up on the 1 minute mark. Mark Kirk, 26. I was almost thinking that Ron was going to walk out of here with this one. He scared everybody off. Just past the 1 minute mark. Coming up, a little less than 30 seconds left to go. Ticking away, coming out of the end, Mark at 26. And that does it. Mark at 26. Oh, and Mark, I did get your check, so that stuff's all in Kevin's box, like you said. So, while we're doing emblems, how about one for the Chevy guys? Oh, we've got an enamel emblem, too, if we get to it tonight. It's a little rough, but it is an enamel emblem. This is mid-30s. Not sure car or truck, but it's a cool-looking Chevy badge. This would have been off the grill. It's tweaked a little bit, but it does appear to be original paint. Check this one out. Something for our bow tie fans. It is kind of V because it was on the grill. This arm is bent a little. You can see in the back where this is all stamped in here. This was painted kind of an off-white with the blue and the bow tie. Kevin L, 15. It is a little under 7 not going into the V. And it is about 2 inches tall. So a cool looking piece for our Chevy friends going with a bow tie emblem. Let's get this one rolling. Mid-30s era grill. How about like that? That'll look better. $30 seconds gone. 60 seconds left to go. 1 minute down, 30 seconds left. Mark, 23. Ticking away, coming out of the end. Mark at 23. Kevin L, 25. And that does it. Kevin L snuck that in at about 128. Kevin L at 25. Tweedledee. All right, let's do a hubcap. We haven't done a hubcap yet, and then we'll kind of move on to see what else we got to do here in a little bit. All right, here a while back, I bought a weird car, and I kept meaning to grab a hubcap off of it, and I kept forgetting to, so I grabbed one this weekend, and I cleaned it up. It's kind of a rough one. It's a little rougher than I thought, but it's here. It's cleaned up. We're going to sell it to one of you guys. Off of the weird old Mercedes. You guys remember the weird old Mercedes? Who wants a Mercedes cap for your wall? This is a mid to late 50s, 56, 58 Mercedes. I think it was a 180D, I think. Guy called me on it. He found it in a barn. Said he had this old Mercedes he thought from the 40s, and he brought it out. It was like, you know, you're always hoping it's going to be a 300 SL, but obviously it wasn't. But you can always hope it was going to be a 300 SL, right? This is a chrome cap. You can see where they had the burgundy paint to match the car. The backside, I was kind of surprised when I cleaned it up, was actually painted as well. This thing's banged up, scuffed, scraped, scratches. You guys can see it in there. So, but there it is. I've been meaning to grab one ever since we did the video. I kept forgetting to. So, anybody interested in a cap off the weird old Mercedes? Because nobody seems too excited about it. We'll give everybody a few more seconds here, and we'll throw it back in the pile. Kevin, 10. Yeah, Kevin likes caps, even if they're weird. Okay, we'll go ahead and roll with it then. Let's go ahead and get it boogieing. I'm going to make some notes here. Kevin's going to start us at 10. That might be the only bit. It's a Mercedes cap. I don't know if you guys are going to dig these or not, but I thought, what the heck. $30 seconds gone. 60 seconds left to go. Yeah, if you put the red back in it would really pop. One minute gone. 30 seconds left to go. Kevin might be the only guy on this thing. I don't know. Taking away. We're coming down to the end. And that does it. Confirms I should not buy any more Mercedes-Benz. All right. I think that is the only Mercedes that I have. I've got one Porsche. I do have several Volkswagens. But I think that's the only Mercedes. Looks like it probably needs to be the only Mercedes. Unless somebody does bring in a 300 SL. How about a brochure? Tonight's brochure is crazy cool. Obviously, we have an insane collection of sales brochures to look at. And we'll probably never get through all these. So I'm just trying to pick and choose. And this one really, I thought, was super cool. I hope you guys are going to enjoy it. Going back to the year 1939, and there was some crazy stuff in this one. First off, it's Plymouth, but there's trucks. Yes, this is the 1939 Plymouth Commercial Vehicle Sales Brochure. There goes the hearts. There is some crazy cool stuff in here, guys. So, yes, Plymouth did make trucks. They were basically a Dodge with a Plymouth nose and Plymouth emblems and a Plymouth tailgate, but they were available. I don't remember when they quit making them, but it was pre-war. I don't think they made any. No, they didn't make anything after the war, I don't think. I think they were all pre-war. After World War II, it was all Dodge. But they did make some Plymouth trucks in the 30s. So they did make U.S. Plymouth trucks up until the late 30s, early 40s. So let's check this thing out. Inside. New economy, new performance, new sturdiness, high pressure cooling, 4-bearing crankshaft, full pressure lubrication, full length water jackets, valve seat inserts, aluminum alloy pistons, 4 rings per piston, chain driven camshaft, 6.7 to 1 compression ratio, 70 horsepower L head 6-cylinder engine for your new 1939 Plymouth pickup. The next page, and this is really cool. You put this stuff in a sales brochure today, these people would be lost. Look at the illustrations on their technical section, especially engineered and truck built to reduce your hauling costs. Look at this artwork. The pistons, talking about compression, the engine. Look at all this, not only technical data, but illustrations to go with the technical data. Biggest of all 3 commercial cabs. It's the biggest, roomiest cab provided by any of all 3 low-priced commercial cars. They're still calling it a car. Built throughout to make the driver's job easier, less tiring. Safety steel construction means savings for the owner as well as safety for the driver, and is completely rust-proof. And Plymouth is the only one of all 3 commercial cabs that thus protects appearance. The Plymouth panel delivery, smartest of all low-priced panel units. And once again, actually talks about the structure, how they're built, all this stuff. You get right into here, it actually talks about how the panel bodies were put together. Now, this is something I was not familiar with. When I pick up a commercial brochure, we expect to see pickups. We expect to see panels. We expect to hear about what they do to make the job easier, right? That's what we expect to see in a commercial chassis sales brochure. However, Plymouth also offered passenger car conversions, utility models that save money for a business. The utility sedan, the coupe pickup, the station wagon, and an ambulance conversion. Hey, there's Big Rig Brett, home in Yucca, Arizona. So let's learn a little bit more about these. And this is just crazy. Remember, guys, this is a Plymouth brochure. This is stuff you could go get at the dealership. Hey, there's Andy. Sounds like a great time. Passenger car beauty and comfort with unusual carrying space. So, guys, remember, this is a Plymouth brochure. You could get this at the dealership. Check this out. Cages loaded in the trunk. Storage area behind the seat. You could put the cage there to keep anything from flying in front of you. How weird is that in a passenger car? And believe it or not, it gets crazier. The coupe pickup. One man can install or remove the steel pickup box in a few minutes. Simply place the box in position and fasten it with 2 wing nuts. Check this out. It literally came with, you could get this removable tail or removable bed panel. You could use the trunk lid. You could remove the trunk lid for taller loads. This is, like I said, this is all available from Plymouth. Well, and I've seen this type of stuff done before. I've never seen it in a factory sales brochure. And believe it or not, guys, it gets even weirder. The beautiful Plymouth touring sedan becomes an ambulance in a jiffy. Available through Plymouth dealers is all the necessary equipment for a complete ambulance conversion. This consists of a rollaway stretcher, a small auxiliary stretcher, leg splints, and a special bag for carrying the equipment. This is crazy, guys. Check this out. You could literally turn a sedan into an ambulance. You loaded the patients through the trunk. The attendant could sit to one side. And it talks about all this equipment available through the dealer with your new Plymouth. That's how you want to go. But that's what's so awesome about all this sales literature. Who would have ever even dreamed that this stuff was available at the dealer? And of course, the wagon. We're familiar with wagons being used as commercial vehicles. That's not uncommon. So, but yes, they had a really great looking station wagon also available with specific options for working. And something else kind of weird to think about, in today's world, four-wheel drive, all-wheel drive, extremely common. You can get it on crossovers, obviously pickups. However, not available in 1939. However, if you did need extra clearance, now work is made easier and life more pleasant for everyone who drives off the main highways and over muddy, snowy, rutted, or high crown roads where extra clearance means the difference between getting through and getting stuck. Plymouth furnishes on special order at low extra cost 20-inch wheels on all Plymouth passenger cars, commercial, and utility models, except models with fender well equipment. Cars with these 20-inch steel disc wheels are equipped with a special hypoid rear axle and gear ratio adjusted to deliver the same pulling power as the regular Plymouth car models. The danger of spring failure, often encountered on rough and deeply rutted roads, is safeguarded against by Plymouth's 4 big airplane-type double-acting shock absorbers. Plymouth is the only lowest-priced car that gives the advantage of 20-inch wheels to farmers, oil field workers, supply houses, and rural mail carriers, physicians and visiting nurses in rural districts, and others who require dependable transportation regardless of road conditions. The 20-inch wheel option available on 1939 Plymouths. Oh, wow. And back then, a lot of times they did run the ambulance service as well. In fact, Dad's ambulance was a sedan delivery body. Is what it was actually a factory converted ambulance, but it was built directly off of a sedan delivery, so not terribly uncommon. And the last page, the Road King models of the 39 Plymouths. And the back cover, the 1939 Plymouth Road King chassis on which the panel delivery, utility, sedan, ambulance conversion, and coupe pickup are built. So that one was a fun one. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Big Rig Brett hit us with a super chat. Shopcat stopping in. Supercharged super chat from Big Rig Brett. Boom. Huge shout out to Brett. Thanks, appreciate it. From a friend, Big Rig Brett, hit us with a super chat. So anyway, the brochures, like I said, I can't thank our friend Carrie enough for calling me on these. You might, Brett. You just might. But learning stuff like this, to me, is so cool. I mean, who would have known this stuff was available without being able to go back and look at this stuff. And we have so much of it. I mean, what did I find the other night? I opened a box that he hadn't sorted yet. What was in that box that he had not sorted this stuff? Oh, it's amazing stuff, Jim. It is absolutely amazing. Okay, here we go. This is stuff that hadn't been sorted. 38 Ford station wagon brochure, specifically 38 Ford, specifically station wagon. 69 Shelby GT350 and 500. It's at a 42 DeSoto. And what year's this Hudson? Some super cool old Hudson, too. Late 30s Hudson. Bullet nose Studebaker. Crazy cool stuff. So, a lot more fun stuff coming up. A lot of amazing brochures. And just look at what we learned tonight just from taking 5 minutes and going through this thing. Let's catch a cat. We got some ads to look at. We got some story time to talk about. Talk about the raffle. In fact, let's talk about the raffle real quick while we're talking about it. This month, at the end of July, we're giving away this original 1936 Cord 810 hubcap. We looked at this a couple weeks ago. It is kind of rough. It's banged up. It's got some surface rust on it. Don't expect this to be a show quality cap. It's not. But it is original. There is a retaining ring on the backside of these. This one is missing that would mount right in here. We did find this at Auburn Cord Duesenberg. We had to do some digging just to come up with one. I was there about 6 months ago, and I got a 36 and a 37. They look, if you just looked at one and then went and looked at the other one 5 minutes later, you would never know any difference. 37 is slightly higher on this crown than 36. That's how we know this is a 36. These caps were originally not supposed to have these holes stamped in them. Originally, this was supposed to be a solid disc. However, they had cooling issues. So even though it turned out to be a very attractive design pattern, it was actually a necessity because of the cooling issues with the brakes as to why that was done. So this is a real deal, and you say, well, hubcaps aren't that rare. Well, they made, because they put 4 on every car, right? Well, they made just under 3,000 810 and 812 cords total. So if you made 1,500 of, say 1,500 of each times 4, that's 6,000 caps. You think of 6,000 hubcaps built in total. Other than, of course, they reproduce them now because a lot of the originals look like this. It's still amazing to come up with one of those original caps for a 1936 Cord 810. And here at the end of the month, this is going to be on one of your guys' walls. Talk about hanging this in your man cave, and people are like, what in the world is that? So that's real deal cord. I don't remember if we measured it last time, guys, but we'll do it again if we did. 15 inches in diameter, so you have an idea of how big it is. So this month's raffle is a pretty unique piece. We'll see if you guys respond. We'll see how many entries we get. I hope we get a lot because these aren't cheap. Even a rough original is not cheap. You can't buy these for $10. So it's definitely awesome. All the times I've been there, I think I've got 2 36s and 1 37. That's all I've ever found there as far as original caps for 36 and 37 cords. they just don't turn up. And where else are you going to find them at is right there. Now, of course, you can buy the new ones, the new nice shiny ones, but original, real deal, ain't much out there. So that's what we got for the raffle this month. Let's hang this bag up so you guys can admire it. Couple of entries from 2 weeks ago. Randy with a Nut Farm and Tim B are both in. Is that the place Mike picked up that Auburn? Is that on the American Pickers Auburn? Is that the one you're talking about, Matt? Yes. They actually, when they bought that car, they shipped that car to Broken Arrow, and they got it roadworthy. And then they drove it back to visit the lady that they had bought it from. They did drive it, too. They did actually drive it. They didn't pull it out of the lot and then trailer it up there. They actually did drive it. They did sell the car. Mike Wolf did sell that car a year or two ago. Doug actually ended up with that car 6 months ago when we were at Auburn Court Duesenberg, I believe in January. That car was there. We did do a full video on it, Matt, if you want to go check that out. They went ahead. They got it running and driving last time, but they went ahead and went a little deeper into it mechanically this time. They did go ahead and overhaul the engine and things like that and make it more roadworthy. But, yes, that is the car, that blue Auburn that Mike Wolf found on American Pickers. They did do a lot of the work on it at Auburn Court Duesenberg. The car did end up back there last January, and Doug and I did do a full video on it. So you can check that out, learn a little bit more about that exact car. But, yep, that's where we were at, Matt. We've got a whole in fact, we've got a whole playlist on the channel from Auburn Court Duesenberg and a lot more stuff coming. We did get a members video up last Wednesday that is Auburn Court Duesenberg, and I've got several more coming. Kyle Carter just bought a cool Auburn. I'm not sure who he is, but it sounds, but obviously most Auburns are pretty cool. What do we got coming up from Auburn Court Duesenberg? The one that went up for members, Auburn's for sale. Some cars that Doug had there for sale. Oh, we did a really cool video. It's kind of a technical video. If you're not a technical guy, it may not be too exciting. Carter's Auto Restyling out of Saskatchewan. Okay, I'll have to check it out. They had a fully restored with no body on it at all. Just the chassis, engine, and drivetrain for a 12-cylinder Auburn. So we did a really in-depth, detailed look at that restored chassis with the 12-cylinder engine in it. That, like I said, if you just want to see the pretty shiny stuff, it probably isn't cool. But that 12-cylinder engine, seeing how heavy-duty that frame was and some of the cool things that they did back in the early 30s on these cars, that was a cool video to do. We did a video on their engine overhaul stuff, guys. The engine video, there again, if you want, well, there's some pretty shiny stuff there too. The engine video, there you had some knockout stuff there. Stuff you've probably never seen. And some internal stuff on an engine that is going to blow your mind. It blew my mind. I've seen a lot of engines. I saw stuff in there that I've never seen before. That's exciting. Some Auburns that they're working on that are currently in the shop. As well as an Auburn they're working on and an Auburn boat tail they have for sale. Oh, yeah, it's, like I said, it was so cool seeing that chassis with that big 12-cylinder sitting in it, and no body panels at all. But you can see every square inch of this chassis and this massive frame and all this cool stuff they did. So glad you had fun, Leo. Oh, sounds cool, Shopcat. So Doug's dad actually made a run of 31 to 33 Speedster bodies. He's got one of those bodies left that's for sale on a chassis, as well as one they're finishing for a customer. And one other video we did at Auburn Court Duesenberg, And you guys are just going to have to watch this one when I release it. On a Lotus. Yeah, didn't see that coming, did you? Yep, got a video coming from Auburn Court Duesenberg on a Lotus. So you guys will have to watch for that one and hear the whole story. And by the way, it's not just a normal Lotus. One of supposedly five built factory competition cars that was having trouble competing in the States. So they took this Lotus trying to make it more competitive. And they called this guy that was doing a bunch of engines in ACs and bought a motor from him. Yeah, it was a Shelby-powered Lotus competition car. So there's some cool. You guys are going to have to check that out. Completely out of the wheelhouse, but still super cool. All that stuff coming up. If you haven't caught that, we've got 40-some videos on the playlist that we've done there at Auburn Court Duesenberg with our good friend Doug Prey. Awesome place. And you guys have a chance to get a piece of it right here in this month's raffle. Got a few more auction pieces that Never Eat Here stopping by tonight. Glad you made it. Glad you made it by for a little bit at least. But not a lot of auction pieces coming up from their Alvin's last trip. But this is, like I said, I've been there a dozen times, maybe. I don't know if I've been there. I've been there a lot over the last 4 or 5 years. Sounds great. Eat Here. That'll work. Big Red loves the videos. It's a great place. But out of all the times I've been there, I've never come up with real deal 810, 812 caps. Like I said, I got a couple in January, and we found one more, and we had to dig to find this one. But it's in this month's raffle. It is going to somebody here at the end of the month. Make sure you are in. We've got Austin is in there because he won his in last month's drawing. And then, of course, Randy with the Nut Farm and Tim B. All that's in there as of right now. We've still got a few weeks to go. I'm sure that's going to fill up, but it's an exciting month. I usually try to find cool stuff for the auction. You guys will probably get a little dry. So we can slide a Hudson badge in there. And we've done a lot of cool toys and a lot of cool stuff. This is not shiny. It's banged up. It's got some surface rust. But it is what it is. It is real deal, original 36 cord. Haven't done a cap yet tonight. Tonight's cap, kind of a unique piece. And actually, I got this from the No Buddies page is why I decided to do this. Have you guys been checking out the No Buddies page? You'll see that Pete. Oh, there we go. Ryan got some more than pickups on, them Studebakers on. If you'll notice, Pete made a post on the 4th with a bunch of stuff that he bought. I hope you guys all saw that because this is where we're going with this tonight's cap, believe it or not. So I do look at this stuff sometimes. But if you guys look, there was a very, very unique Buick cap listed. Or not, that he showed in the picture. So I don't know if you guys saw that or not, but you might go check it out because that's where we're going with tonight's story time. Or not story time, tonight's cap. So who's seen that? Did you guys see that? Because this isn't going to make a lot of sense unless we get in. You guys will have a better visual if you go look at that picture that Pete posted of what he found. The picture was posted on the 4th of July. Kevin L. seen it, okay? Well, there was a picture of, in the picture, there was a Buick wire hubcap. Very unique piece. And I was actually kind of excited because it's actually a pretty rare cap. Does anybody know what that wire Buick cap is? Has anybody ever seen them? Anybody familiar with them? So obviously some of you guys did see it, so that's great. But I'm curious as to if anybody knows what that Buick wire cap is. I'm challenging you guys a little bit. And nobody's commenting. So you guys must be a little vague as to what that wire Buick cap is. Well, you got the year right, Dean. Riviera was not a specific model in 53. Riviera meant it was a hardtop design, but you could get a Riviera and a Special, a Super, or a Roadmaster. Like a Roadmaster two-door hardtop was a 76R for Riviera. Super was a 56R. Special would have been a 46R. So the Riviera part in 53 was actually not a model. Can't make out the emblem. Well, it's a Buick emblem, but it's a pretty unique piece. Well, hopefully you guys have all had a chance to jump on over there and check the picture out. But what that actually is, like I said, Dean got the year right. That is a 1953 Buick Special cap, specific to the Special. Now, the wire part was the same for all 53 Buicks. That cap was only available in 53. And it was that particular cap in there is for the Special. So the Special used its own cap. So what that means is how many people ordered the base model car, the base Special, and then put wire hubcaps on it. If anything, you may upgrade to a full wheel cover as opposed to a dog dish. But in a Special, most people were buying Specials because they were cheaper. They didn't need a lot of fancy stuff. So very few people sprung for wire hubcaps on a Special. Now, the difference is the Super and Roadmaster used a different cap, which is what we're going to check out in tonight's cap. Here is the insert for the Super Roadmaster. So if you look at the picture, you can see the Buick symbol on there. This is an original insert for that hubcap that would have been used on the Super or the Roadmaster in 53. So a completely different configuration. Now, does anybody know why? Another pop quiz. This is a stainless cap on a metal base that snapped into the center of that wire wheel cover. This is 6 3/4 in diameter. Just to give you an idea of the size of this going in the center of that wire cap. So obviously no takers on the shop cat's just stumped. So you guys can see the difference. They are significantly different in the emblem. Now the caps were the same, different inserts. If you look at the picture that Pete posted, it's got the big red and blue Buick emblem in it. In 1953, that was the first year that Buick came out with the nail head. V. However, the nail head was not available in a Special. Special in 53 was still a straight 8. So this was for the V8 powered Super and Roadmaster. The straight 8 powered Special got the cap like the one in Pete's picture on the No Buddies page. So that makes that cap that Pete found. Now the wire cap, that was used on the Buick used the same wheels for years, but very few people ordered a base Special and put wire hubcaps on it. So that's the difference. 53, the first year of the nailhead. However, it was not available across the line, as specialists still used the straight out. And then, of course, Skylark in 53 obviously was V8 powered. However, the Skylark came standard with actual true spoke Skylark wire wheels. So this cap, obviously, you didn't need it on a Skylark because you had true wire wheels on a Skylark. Super and Roadmaster used the V to denote the first year of the nailhead. Special used the one in Pete's picture with the big Buick symbol on it. That's the difference. So kind of a rare piece, kind of a cool piece. But I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. I'm glad you guys are having fun with it. But that's the difference. So tonight's cap is the V8 center for the Super Roadmaster that would have gone on the same cap Pete found, only that one was for a special. Hey, what? So anyway, kind of a little more with the cap tonight than normal. But there again, I watch that stuff when I see something pop up on the Nobody's page that somebody posted that we can kind of integrate into what we're doing here. By all means, we'll do it. What? Can I help you? And that's right. And now you know. That's right. So, for whatever that's worth, now you know. What? We're going to do story time, Knucklehead. What? Oh, you want to come back up, apparently. Yes, I don't think I requested you. I don't think I requested you. Hey. Yes, I don't think I requested you. I don't think I said come get in the way. I don't think I did. In fact, I'm pretty sure I know he didn't ask you to come up here. What are you doing? I think you need to go back down. We got work to do. You are in the way. You are in the way. You are in the way. You don't care. All right, it's time for you to get down. It's time for you to get down. You need to go down to the ground. No, that's the keyboard. You're getting down. Down. All right. Okay, story time. Tonight's story time, this is, to me, a pretty cool one. This car was around for a very, very short time. However, it was, to me, it would definitely influence me because I bought another one since then. But time for a Hudson badge anyway, by the way. And an Auburn badge. We haven't done that in a while yet either. Tonight's story time, we're going back to October of 1981. This car was only here for a couple of weeks. And then it went down the road. But to me, I thought it was super cool. Bought this, brought it home from Cocker City, Kansas, from the Wakanda Motor Company. Wakanda Motor Company actually started as E.C. Riley back in the 50s. And Dad stumbled onto this place in the early 80s because they had an entire attic full of Newell stock. Well, on one of his trips up there to get a load of parts, he went up there on a Saturday, and when he got there, you got to remember, this is October of 81. They had just traded for this. 1974 Z28 with a 4-speed. This is the 74 Camaro that I still remember to this day, because I remember going out, because when that's all, you okay there, Pete? Because it was a 4-speed, and I remember Dad taking me for a ride in this thing and pounding it through the gears. So this car always stuck with me, on top of the fact that I was born in 74. I love the 74 only stripes because that was the only year that utilized that. Sounds good, Nut Farm. Glad you were here. So, like I said, this car was only around for a very short time. Like I said, this is an 81, so this is a 74. And if you look real close, it's kind of hard to see in these pictures, but you can see the quarters and stuff on this car. Where's my pen? Already pretty rough. So the car was actually a little rougher than he thought when he bought it. So this was a very, very quick flip. Like, got it home and somebody wanted to buy it and it left again immediately. Like I said, it stuck with me. It was because of the color. It was a 74. You know, the car that I've got now is it's not green, it's gold, and it's an automatic, which I don't really care. It's not that big a deal. It's more of the look, the fact that it is a 74, and then, of course, the call-out stripes the 74 is used. Now, one thing we will notice on this car, or not notice on this car, is this does not have the Z28 badges behind the wheels on the front fenders. That is if you did not have stripes. My car has Z28 right here, does not have stripes. But when I get that car done, it's going to have stripes. It's going to, and I'll probably leave the Z28s on the front fenders as well. But bought this car October of 81 from Wakanda Motor Company for $1,500. Oh, Dad said it also had a noise in the motor. Okay. I didn't remember that. He said it did have a noise in the motor. $1,500 and $45 in sales tax. $1,545 is what he paid for it. He sold it a couple weeks later for $1,750. So not a big money maker, but it was rougher than he thought. Noise in the motor, more rust than he thought. So there was a guy here in Great Bend that went by Candyman. His name was Daryl Rogers. He did a lot of, especially Chevys, over the years, and ended up just selling it to him. He had a car lot and did a lot of performance type, muscle car type Chevy stuff. So he jumped on it, and I'm sure he fixed it and sent it down the road. So not much to go along with this story other than the fact that, you know, I have such fond memories of it, even though it was only here for a week or two. And that's why I've got the 74 that I've got now. When I had the opportunity to buy the 74 that I have now, this is the car I was thinking of when I bought that 74Z. So anyway, there's a little bit, there's the 74 that we've touched on before, and a little bit more of the story. It's on the other side of the sheet. Oh, look at that. Another car Dad built in 81. Glad you liked it, Kevin. You know, the car did bounce around Great Bend for a while. And then last I heard that in the mid 80s, it was in a little town 20, 30 miles north of here, but haven't heard or seen a peep about it since. I got the VIN on there. I should run it just out of curiosity, see if it pops up anywhere. Sounds good, Shop Cat. Glad you were here. So anyhow, that's true. That's 100% true. Never eat here. The second gen stuff is getting popular. I personally like them a lot more than the first gens. I'm not a first gen fan, and you're right. So are third gens. That's why I've been buying those cars up for years. Still not to 100. I think I'm pushing 80, and the bulk of those 80 are second and third gen cars. Some fourth gen. I don't have any first gens at all. I did have a 68 Camaro I just sold a few weeks ago. But for second gens, of course, me being born in 74, that's what I grew up on. I remember when the third gens came out. I remember my PE teacher was one of the first ones in town that had one. Sounds good, Bill. Glad you were here. And so that's the stuff I remember, personally remember. Just like going for a ride in that green 74. I remember riding in that car. So I have way more ties to those cars than I do first gens, because even though Dad had a 69 Camaro convertible when I was a kid for a while, but very little recollection of it. I do remember it, but not well. But, what I grew up with, what a lot of people I knew, even in high school had second gens, some third gens. Those are the cars I was around, I was familiar with, friends had, I had. So for me, that's where I have a lot more emotional ties to those. Yeah, and 100% agree with that. Yeah, with the IROCs, those cars, they have a heck of a following. What cracks me up about the IROC is basically, to a lot of people, a third gen Camaro is an IROC. It can be an 82 Berlinetta, and people will call it an IROC anymore. So I've run into it, and that's actually 100% right, Dean. That's part of the reason. I know Tractor Mike's an IROC fan. That I'm not a big first gen guy. That last 69 that I sold, that 69 Z28, I had more experts call me on that car and just start spouting off information that I had people call me a liar, tell me it wasn't a Z. But it was an X33 Norwood car. So what else is it supposed to be? It had a guy argue with me because it didn't have a tack. But there's actually a guy up by Wamego, Kansas, up by Manhattan, who and Bill's extremely sharp on these cars. And he taught me a lot about them. And he said, the tack wasn't available till wasn't standard until May of 69. So everything built from December of 68 to through April of 69 did not have a tack unless they ordered it with a tack. But there again, people were calling me, telling me I didn't know what I was talking about. It wasn't a Z28, blah, 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 blah. But so you're 100% right, Dean. That's why I just don't even really want, and that's stereotyping. I understand that. But for me, I just don't have the emotional ties to those cars like I do the second and third gens. So. Yeah, that's a good reason to do it. Twins will definitely change your life plans very quickly. So that's kind of that's just where my personal feeling is for the second gens cars. So, but there again, it's everybody has their own opinions, and that's what makes the hobby so great. It's just, for me, it is not in first gens. So Eat Here likes them. I know Pete likes them. And I know a lot of you guys do. It's just, for me, that's not it for me. A lot of you guys have been there. You've seen I've got second, third, and fourth gens in the shop next door. I've got a little bit of an assortment of all of them, Camaro and Firebird. So I do like a lot of them. I have a fairly diverse collection of them. And even some stuff that, like my third gen Camaros are bookended. I've got an 82 pace car and a 92 Z convertible. I've got the 97 30th anniversary Z that was sold brand new 6 blocks from my shop. It was sold new here in Great Bend. It was a one-owner car. I got it from them, and it's sitting here in my shop 6 blocks from the showroom that it drove off of, brand new in 1997. So So that's, but there again, I remember that stuff. My 25th anniversary 94 Trans Ams, I remember those cars. I remember the promo model for the 94 25th anniversary. So there again, those cars to me, I have a reason to like them, more so than I do a first gen. But anyway, that's me getting completely off subject and kind of steering down a different path here. But let's check out some ads tonight. We're going to do things a little bit different in ads. Instead of doing classifieds, I was looking at a magazine and it had a whole section of regular ads. So we're going to check some of those out. And then probably go ahead and wind things up here in a little while. We've already had several guys that needed to get off tonight, especially the guys back east, and I fully understand that. So we'll check out some of these ads, and then we will go ahead and wrap things up here after a while. But going back to the Automobile Trade Journal, we haven't gotten into our auto trade journals in a long time. From October of 1934, this is one of the ones that Glenn found for us. We've been through a lot of this magazine. We can look and see where Kevin's business card is actually located at. There goes the hearts in the publication. So we're here towards the back. And as I started looking at what was coming up, this was all ads. It's like, well, let's do these instead of classifieds tonight because this stuff is so cool. I think all the IROCs pretty much had a spoiler, but they were a small spoiler. It was not a tall one. The 91 and 92Z, which the IROC was not available on, because 90 was the last year of IROC, because Dodge picked it up after that. The 91 and 92Z coupe actually did have a taller spoiler than the earlier third gens. Now, my 92Z is a convertible, and it has the shorter spoiler on it. So anyway, let's check out some not classified ads, but just basically the ads in the back of this October 1934 Auto Trade Journal. First off, new modern technology, the Walker difference. Push the swing to the modern service lift. Walker electric lifts. There again, we're in 1934. So we have to put ourselves in that time frame, in that state of mind. Lifts in today's world, extremely common. A lot of people even have them in their garages. So but lifts a pretty big deal in 1934. Now this next ad is crazy. This next full page ad, investigate the Oldsmobile franchise. Ask any Oldsmobile dealer what he thinks of his franchise. Then ask yourself if you can afford not to investigate what Oldsmobile offers. Yes, literally a full page ad. If you wanted to inquire about being an Oldsmobile dealer. Obviously, in today's world, you can't hardly get into a dealership. You've got to be approved. You got to jump through a bunch of hoops. In 1934, they're just slapping ads in the back of a magazine. Let's see. You send your name and address, and it says, I want full information on Oldsmobile, the car that covers 97% of the entire market, the car that has doubled its sales so far this year. Send me franchise facts without obligation on my part, of course. Something else kind of crazy to think about. This is Auto Trade Journal. This is general automotive people. American hammered energized piston rings. And Gulf lubrication. I can see Gulf lubrication advertising, but piston rings literally taking out a full page ad in a trade magazine for piston rings. How about new brake shoes? All across America, men who know and men you know are selling Gray Rock balanced brake sets. The illustrations here are typical of thousands who report that this new Gray Rock product and selling plan has increased brake service business and made it more profitable. Your Gray Rock distributor salesman will show you the evidence from all across America and explain how you, too, can be more successful in promoting the brake service end of your business. Yes, Gray Rock brakes from, cover out here, the United States Asbestos Division. Yes, get your Gray Rock brakes from the U.S. Asbestos Division. The next picture is really cool from Widenoff. Joseph Widenoff, Inc. The Widenoff Motor Analyzer. Check this baby out. Price $465. Sold on time payment plan. $465 was an insane amount of money in 1934. Don't have one of these, man. Want to see if we can find an issue of the Commercial Car Journal. As well as Federal Bearings. There again, just like the piston rings, seeing hard parts, specific hard parts advertised, whole different animal than what we'd expect to see in a general auto trade journal type publication in today's world. Let's catch a couple more things here, and then we'll get ready to wind things down. 4 ads on these, quarter or half page ads. Railway Express, when you need spare parts and need them in a hurry. Prestolite batteries. More brake parts, as well as a starter spring for Bendix Drive. Let's take a quick look at these ads. Starting over here. Come back here. Railway Express. Shipping your parts and shipping them quick. Prestolite batteries. Rare and to go. Shows the hunting dogs out there. You can forget temperature and pedal trouble if you install EMSCO engineered sets from the EMSCO Asbestos Company. And the starter drive spring, the Wickwire starter drive spring for the Bendix Drive. Give you guys a second to take those in. Oh, look at that. Big Rig Brett hitting us again. Boom. Supercharged super chat from Big Rig Brett. Yeah, exactly. Imagine going to a dealer for a Bendix spring today. Supercharged super chat from Big Rig Brett. Appreciate it, Brett. And that kind of gets us to a stopping point. We got a few more ads. We may get into this one a little bit later. But that kind of is a good stopping point for the bigger ads in that publication. So I think we'll go ahead and wind stuff down. We've had a lot of guys had to bail off tonight, and I understand it's getting late, especially back east. So we'll get and that's right, Dean. They did rebuild a lot of brake shoes. Those were just linings. Yeah, I've got a machine out at the yard that they use. You can put like one bit in it, and it punched the rivets out. You threw the lining away. You slapped the new lining on it, changed the tip, and then it would press the rivets in for relining those shoes. So yeah, those were just the actual asbestos friction material that they would put on the original steel shoe. So yep, that's exactly right, Dean. That's how they did those. But anyway, guys, we got through everything we needed to do. It worked tonight, which is definitely a plus. What's coming up? Oh, I've got the Pioneer Village video ready on the new adoption. So I will get that up. We may throw that up as an extra video for everybody on the new vehicle we adopted. And as always, time to start thinking about next year. If you guys want to start rounding up on auction purchases and raffle entries for Pioneer Village, just let me know what it's for when you send it through. Tuesday night, we will do some Toy Tuesday. I want to try to do those GM accessories. There's just a couple of really neat things in there that probably aren't really good for much, but they're really cool still in the original packages. So we may try to do that stuff for Tuesday night since it's out right now. I literally just picked it up yesterday. And then, of course, we will have the new videos coming up Wednesday and Friday. We've got an Auburn Cord Duesenberg video as well as an update for Pioneer Village video coming up Wednesday and Friday for the public. We will have some more stuff coming up for our members this week. I've got we need to get some more new inventory videos up on stuff that's been coming in. So we'll probably have some of that stuff to be ready to pop up a little bit later as well. Looks like next Sunday we should be good to go again in theory. I think I'll be here. I'm starting to wonder the way these last couple months have been. But as of right now, I think I should be here. So we'll be on kind of the same normal schedule for next Sunday. Work through some more of these auction boxes. Check out some more cool stuff. Sounds good, Kevin. I'll let you get a few things built up. Then I'll get them on the way to you. So anyway, with that being said, I think we'll go ahead and call it a night. At least it worked. At least it was a successful mission. And we'll shoot for next week. Stay tuned. We'll get those other videos up. We'll see some of you guys Tuesday night for some Toy Tuesday. And we definitely hope to see you right back here next Sunday evening. Same bat time, same bat station for some more Gearhead Interactive live chat. You bet, Big Red. I appreciate that. You bet, guys. I try to put something decent together. I'm glad you guys are enjoying it. And we're having a good time here, a good chat. The Nobody's page is working. It's clicking along. That's all thanks to you guys and your participation. So Thanks for being here. Thanks for making it what it is. We'll see some of you Tuesday, and if not, we sure hope so. See you all right back here next Sunday night for some more Gearhead Interactive live chat. Thanks for watching, everybody, and have a great week.